All right, what's up, y'all? This is All Gas, No Trash. My name's Adam, and welcome back to the program, and welcome to a brand new episode. So, this episode is going to be dedicated to the album review of Curió Curio's debut album that is being released on Mr. Bongo Records. There's a bunch of great artists that I've been looking into from there as of late, and this happened to be one of them that just started. It's a duo between Luisa Montero and also Dustin Braun, who are respectively from or currently based out of Austria and Germany, though Luisa is actually from Brazil and currently resides in Austria. I don't have anything additional to share about them, so we're just going to go ahead and dive right into the album itself. So we do have the links available for the album within the podcast episode description and also the video version on YouTube if you wish to listen along with us, or if you want to just wait till the very end and hear me talk about the album, whatever way you want to do it, it's available for you. We'll also have it as one of the end cards for you to check out on YouTube at the very end of this podcast episode, or the video version specifically on YouTube. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get to the first track. This is Chegando, which I guess translates to "I'm coming," which is, it almost sounds similar to Spanish. Like to say in Spanish, it would be "Estoy llegando." Like it kind of has a similar feel to it. I know Portuguese is kind of a little bit similar to Spanish, but yeah, the song itself is called "Estoy chegando." And yeah, let's go ahead and give it a listen. Pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll give it a listen. Going in. Welcome back. That was Curió Curió with their track called Estoy Chegando. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Man, that was a hell of an opening. I really fucking loved it. And I guess if I had to start anywhere, it would have to be with the intro that's done in this like bateria style of music, which I think you might hear in the sounds of like Carnival, that big festival that happens in Brazil. It's a very like heavily percussive genre, and I love how it opens like that in the track. It's really warm and inviting, and oddly enough, I have this image in my head that Luisa and Dustin Braun are just coming back to like a town in Brazil, and they're walking in the streets, and as they're like, singing and playing their instrument, there's people like gathering around them and bringing their own instruments to the party. So every time something gets layered onto the track, it's like the neighborhood coming in. It is very festive and fun, and I love the sounds of the sequa, which is like that sound that you hear in the background that kind of sounds like a bonobo howling, which is like a shit I it's almost like a monkey, but not exactly. I forget like what how to be more descriptive of it more appropriately, but anyways, yeah, this track has a really funky bass line, explosive synths, really cool organ sounds, and it just feels warm and inviting. And fucking A, man, Luisa has some incredible vocals. I mean, she really hits some peaks with her some of the notes that she hits. It's just a very vibrant track. It's got a retro feel to it, but what a great way to open the album. I don't know if I have anything more to add, but I really love this track, and if this is how we start off the album, I think we're in for a really spectacular listen of an album. So let's go ahead and get to the next track, which is called Bem Querer, which is I believe the first single that was released from Curió Curió, the debut single from them. So we'll go ahead and give it a listen. Pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll give Bem Querer from Curió Curió a listen. Going in. All right, welcome back. That was Curió Curió with their track called Bem Querer. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. This is a track that's heavily in the realm of disco and funk, and another fucking banger from Curió Curió. I really loved the funkiness of the bass, and the backing vocals just really make it feel festive and as if we were being invited into like this party, a welcoming home party of friends and family and stuff. And I don't have the lyrics available to me for these songs, I really just kind of have left to my own imagination about what they could mean. I mean, I could Google the titles of the songs, but I it's perhaps a little bit more fun just to imagine what the song means based on the feelings and the way the instruments are played and the melodies. I don't know, but anyways, I really like the shimmering riffs or stabs from the keys in the track, and the addition of the horns, man. Fucking A. I don't know how Dustin Braun is able to just layer all these tracks from different instruments and make a really killer mix, but he hasn't missed so far. And I think this is somebody that people should be looking out for to be working with. I know he has worked with other artists. I don't remember the list of names that he's worked with, but I could easily say that somebody like himself should work with a group or a band like, say, Shishi. I think they would really complement each other well. Like, to have the production skills of Dustin Braun would work really well with, say Shishi, if in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, I just love how catchy the chorus is. The horns were an awesome addition, and we really get to see the array of genres that Curió Curió plays, from disco and funk to bateria and bossa nova. It's just very festive and fun and lighthearted, vibrant, vivacious. Like, everything that you could describe about Brazil is here. It's just so fun to listen to. So let's go ahead and get to the next track, which is called Menina, Passarinho. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I probably butchered it, but that's my best attempt of saying the title of the next song. But go ahead and pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and let's give it a listen. Menina, Passarinho from Curió Curió, going in. All right, welcome back. That was Menina, Passarinho from Curió Curió. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the track. Man, I have to say, this at this moment is probably my favorite track that we've heard so far. I really love like the tempo of the track. It's got like this staccato beat style to it, and we definitely see some new things introduced, from an acoustic guitar and flutes playing in the background, along with some really cool moments with Luisa's vocal delivery. I mean, it almost comes across as like rap-ish. Like, the cadence of which she delivers the lyrics is really fun, and she even like plays with her voice a little bit with like doing some riffing and scatting, I suppose. And it almost like simulates the sound of like a sequa, which is really fucking cool. I just love this track, and I really love like the spacey synths and organ keys that you got to hear throughout the track. Probably potentially my favorite song that we've heard so far. But let's go ahead and get to the next song, which is called Vem pra Casa, which is yet another single. So amongst all the songs that we've heard so far, these are a lot of the singles that were released over the last couple of months, if you have been following Curió Curió. So we're going to check out the next one, which is Vem pra Casa. And yeah, I can't wait to give it a listen. So pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll check out this song, Vem pra Casa from Curió Curió, going in. All right, welcome back. That was Curió Curió with their track called Vem pra Casa. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. So it translates to come home in English, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I looked it up previously. But just a really funky, disco-oriented track that has a really fucking great like bass line. And I mean, you could really just appreciate each and every one of these songs for the components that are introduced and play throughout each track. But not only can you enjoy them individually, you can also enjoy them in unison. And how that was accomplished is through the sorcery and demonry of Dustin Braun. I think the way this mix is oriented is just it's expertly layered. And man, I love how the horn section kind of accentuates at the very end of every lyric that Luisa says in this song, or sings rather. That fluttery synth or those fluttery keys, fucking cool as shit. I love this track, and I have to say, maybe it's my second favorite track on the album, assuming that there are nothing that rise to the occasion, or excuse me, that no other song rises to the occasion of Ven para Casa or the previous track, which is Menina, Menina Passarinho. Those two tracks to me are by far my two favorites, but there's so much more to go. So let's go ahead and check out the next track, which is called Raiz, from Curió Curió. Pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll give it a listen. Going in. All right, welcome back. That was Raiz from Raiz or Raiz, I'm not sure. From Curió Curió. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. So this is a little bit of a break from more of the styles of music that we've heard previously. I don't know if I have a whole lot to add, describing and talking about the instruments, but the way that it makes me feel, or what comes to mind for me, is like an old 60s or 70s television show where like the main character is just walking around thinking about things, being pensive, and it's so crazy like how music is able to create a mood or a feeling and just paint images in your head with just sound itself. I really love like the rich harmonies in the track and how jazzy it was. It kind of had a little bit of a slow sway to it. It got a little bit psychedelic at the end. It was moody, melancholic. Just another stellar track from Reis, or excuse me, Curió Curió, with their song called Reis or Raiz. I'm not sure, but yeah, I haven't had a song that I haven't liked from Curió Curió just yet, and I don't think I'm going to be disappointed going forward. So let's go ahead and check out the next track, which is called, let's see. So this is an interlude, so I don't imagine it's particularly long, but it's called Vida que Entorno Interlude. I'm not exactly sure what that translates to. Maybe I'll look it up before we come back. But yeah, so this is the interlude in the album. So we'll give it a quick listen. Pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll check it out. Curió Curió with Vida que Entorno going in. All right, welcome back. That was Curió Curió with their track called Vida que Entorna, which translates to Life That Spills. And man, I thought this would be like a throwaway interlude track that didn't have a whole lot of substance to it, but it was just cool to have, as if we are becoming family and friends of Curió Curió, to be invited into their household, and you have all these conversations going on in the background, and it's like we got pulled aside with Luisa, with this acoustic guitar and her vocals singing this song, and it's just a very cool vibe to have. I mean, man, I feel like I've been immersed in the world of Curió Curió, as if it were like a town or a neighborhood in Brazil. It's just a very cool, it's been a very cool album to listen to. I don't know if I have much more to add, but we can go ahead and get to the next track. And this one was actually like a secret single when they had released their debut single. Actually, it was a double single release, both Bem Querer and this next track, which is called Amor, Doente, which, yeah, it was available on Bandcamp, but you couldn't find it anywhere else on, say, YouTube or even Spotify or Apple Music. It wasn't until this release, this debut album, that we could actually listen to it. For somebody like me, I couldn't hold out and wait to listen to this song. But yeah, let's go ahead and give it a listen. This is Amor Donte from Curió Curió going in. All right, welcome back. That was Curió Curió with your track called Amor Donte. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. It's not necessarily that I have a whole lot to say or critique or anything like that, but man, like largely this album, not even largely, it is flawless. But if there were some things to say, man, I think Curió Curió should be amongst many great bands like Rio Costa, Seishishi, Altingun. Um, a more a newer artist, I guess I could say, is Sose25, which is like the woman from Kit Sebastian who made like a Turkish disco funk album that's really cool. I would love to see all those artists bunched together on a bill. I think it would be like incredible world beat type of stuff, disco funk. I think it would get a lot of people moving. But this stuff is just it would play nice for any club, I think. For any DJ that is, you know, got any taste in music, they have to incorporate Curió Curio's music into everything they do because it's so infectious in so many words. But if there were something to say about this specific track, all I could say is that it makes me believe that this is something that if there were ever a scenario like Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta strutting around, if there was a soundtrack that needed to be incorporated in a scene like that, or even Peter Parker strutting around in Spider-Man 3, we need this specific track in some type of movie. I don't know. That's all I have to add about this track. I think this album is fucking flawless so far, and it's only getting better, but we have to keep pressing forward because I do have another review that I have to get to with urgency. I don't want this to turn into a lengthy session of recording podcast episodes, so we'll go ahead and get to the next track. It's Mar Sem Dar Pé. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So yeah, pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll be giving it a listen. Mar Sem Dar Pé from Curió Curió going in. All right, welcome back. That was Mar Sem Dar Pé. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Man, that song was stanky. But it had like these really hard down beats that had an extra oomph. They add an extra oomph to the track, and whoever the bass player was on this track, if it was Dustin Braun that was playing the bass or whatever, man, they must have been feeling themselves really hard on this song. And I have to say that what I love about this album is all like the little things, like the tambourines, the rattling of the tambourines, the bongos, like the soft pattering of the bongos and congas, if they're both present on this song. It just adds like so much personality. It's like those little bits that make a big difference. It adds a lot of personality to the track, and the last bits of Luisa's vocals sound as though they're recorded on a voice recorder, or perhaps it's like they finished recording this song and they enjoyed it so much that they're even still singing it after the fact, like, and we're just kind of getting a peek through the window of both Dustin Braun and Luisa having like fun, just enjoying their own music, and I guess to some degree feeling themselves. But Luisa continues to stretch the possibilities with her vocals on all the tracks, and I like this one at the very end, talking about that portion where it sounds like it transitions over from studio recording to just after the fact, that Luisa does like these vibratos and just kind of swings and sways with her voice. It's I don't know, man. I am totally in love with this album, so I hope you are too. Hopefully you have been enjoying it, and we're gonna go ahead and get to the next track, which is called Canto de Calma from Curió Curió. We're gonna listen to this track, Canto de Calma. Pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll give it a listen going in. All right, welcome back. That was Canto de Calma from Curió Curió. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. As far as what I think personally, the production on all the tracks has been fucking impeccable, man. Dustin Braun is a fucking genius. Nothing really to critique. I really like the fact that this song kind of finds itself between something that's jazzy and also bossa nova-y, if that's not even a word, but that's the best way that I could summarize it. And I appreciate like the variety and tempos of songs. They all have different time signatures, I guess, but that synth solo at the end, man, I don't know why, but it did make me laugh a little bit because I don't know, it just is funny to me, but it in my head when I hear this track, I can just imagine myself having um I guess bell bottom jeans, a bucket hat, and those gradient glasses, those smoky brown gradient glasses that people used to wear back in the day. Yeah, I don't know. This was just a really cool track, and I don't know if I have anything more to add, but just a cool track. So now we transition over to checking out Amizade from Curió Curió. We are reaching the very end of the album or getting close to it. So go ahead and pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice and we'll check out this track. Curió Curió with Amizade from their album, the self-titled album going in. All right, welcome back. That was Curió Curió with their track called Amizade from their self-titled debut album released on Mr. Bongo Records. What do I have to say about this track? Or actually, I forgot to say, let us know in the comments what you thought about it. But as far as what I have to say about the track, all I can think of is the meme of Antonio Banderas exhaling in relief by what he's seen on a computer. Like he's exhaling out, more relaxed, relieved, and he just raises his fist. Yeah, that's the way that I felt listening to that trumpet in the foreground at the beginning portion of this song, the first minute. Man, it is just incredible. The arrangements and the intro of the song from the trumpet, bass, acoustic guitar, the bongos, like the soft patterning of the bongos, the really soft keys, man, just inject that into my veins. And you can hear at the very end of the track, there's like these ocean waves that are playing in the background. And what I really liked is at the very end of the song, you have the keys kind of play out the song itself, and it to me it kind of like personifies droplets of water. It's just very shimmery and glittery. Like I just think this stuff is just spectacular, man. I don't know what else to add, but we're kind of reaching the end of the album. Or we're not kind of. We are reaching the end of the album, and we have this last track, which is, whew, I think this is a little bit of a doozy. It's called Acordo Muy Sonho. I hope I got anywhere remotely close to the actual pronunciation. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the last track of the album. Pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and we'll give it a listen. This is Curió Curió with their song called Acor du Muy Sonho from their self-titled debut album, Going In. All right, welcome back. That was Curió Curió with their track called Fuck. This title is so hard to say. Acordo Muy Sonho from Curió Curió. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. What a cool way to like end the album in an unsuspecting way. I don't know if the two of them decided like, wait, we need another ace in the hole to really surprise people and have them wowed, I guess, because they have like this guitar that kind of is the star of the show, so to speak. It is very reminiscent of like a band like Krungbin. It that type of sound, that tone, or whatever effects are applied makes me think of like spaghetti western movies, like stuff that Ennio Morricone would do. I just thought it was a very cool thing to like just throw in at the very end, as if Curió Curió hadn't showed us enough of what they're able to accomplish, man. Fuck, they blow a lot of bands away, and it's just like, how do we get this band out there to more people? Because they kick so much ass. And what I loved about this track is that it goes off the rails at some point, like the midpoint of the song, just after the chorus, when the guitar really has its moment to shine and just do an entire solo, and it almost gets really chaotic and goes off the rails, but then Luisa kind of reels it back in, and you can hear like the sequa and Luisa's vocals being heard. Luisa really kind of brings back the song itself to more, I guess, structure, I guess. Not to say that it was outright chaotic with the guitar solo, but kind of reels it back in and ends strongly on the track. And man, I don't know what else to add, but this was just a real pleasure to listen to. So we'll go ahead and get to final thoughts on the album itself and just give it a score because I think I already know what I'm going to give it. So for final thoughts and score, I can say that this album is beyond perfection. It incorporates so many different instruments and genres and blends them so easily together. And I just want to know how difficult it was to do the recording process, like the mixing, to layer so many things and not have it be conflicting with each other in the mix. I just want to know. And Louisa is a revelation, a real fucking songbird, which is funny because the title of the band is actually, I think, the name of an actual bird in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. But she just has like a really vivacious and vibrant voice that just adds a lot of feeling to each track, stretches the limits of what her voice can do with the notes that she hits, and has really beautiful sustains and vibrato and just everything technical about what you can love about a vocalist. She has it. And Dustin Braun is somebody that should be a household name going forward. I think a band like Say She should be working with Dustin Braun on their next album. Even Rio Costa would be fucking great. I would love to see what they would do together. But this sets the bar so high while simultaneously breaking its own expectations within the context of its own album. The harmonies are so beautiful and lush, and the production of the tracks is off the chain. The arrangements are so beautiful and sublime. I don't know what else to say, but this might very well be the best album that I've listened to in 2026, without a doubt. I would say maybe Hot and Freddy's debut album as well is a close second, but it's just so hard to find anything else like this that just really compares. I don't know. This might be the album of 2026 for me. So yeah, there you have it. I think this album is an 11 out of 10. It's fucking spectacular. And I think everybody should check it out and try to get it out to as many people as possible because, oh man, it is just a blast listening to from front to end. So I don't have anything more to add. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time.